I'm Fiona Nicholls and I live in Whalley Range. I've lived here for 15 years. I decided to do this retrofit because I decided I needed a project really. I'm an environmentalist for many years and I bought this house 2 years ago to look at having a go at doing something quite fundamental to this home. If we don't all do it, we have a planet and it's got a very short life, and so I think if we all have a go at doing this, and we haven't started doing it yet, then I think we can make a real difference. I looked at it in the round and thought, well, how far can I go? And I thought, well, I'll go as far as I can go. And at the moment I'm in the middle of that, so I'm aiming to get to it as close to passive as possible, and I will do my best, and I'll have hopefully low bills, although that wasn't a primary motivation, and hopefully I'll have a house that's very healthy. When I set out on this project, I decided that I needed some contractor help, but I wanted to be in control. I also wanted to manage costs as best as possible. So what ended up happening is 30% of the work I estimate was done by a contractor, 70% was done by myself. Fundamentally, it's external wall insulation, it's underfloor insulation, it's complete new windows or new panes of glass. It's also, I have a very small extension, it's a replacement roof. Yeah, it needed a lot of work. So the original budget was 50,000 to try and do everything. The architect laughed at me when I said that I wanted to do all we wanted to do, which was including retrofitting the kitchen, the bathroom and everything else to go with, as well as the insulation and everything else that we wanted. Actual fact, I think what the budget and how much we will actually have spent will probably be in the region of about £70,000. Yeah, it was it's costly. Benefit of underfloor insulation is that it's going to make this house much warmer. There are other insulations that will probably contribute more, but in terms of here, the insulation is one part, the actual getting rid of the draft is probably the biggest part for me. In terms of the actual makeup of the insulation, we have 2 breather membranes, 2 different types, and also wool. It's not 100% wool, but it's 75% wool. I mean, the insulation under the floor could be done in many ways. So whether what we've chosen is actually the warmest or the most airtight option, I'm not sure. I was worried about mice and I was worried about attack from insects and what have you. When I asked the question of the supplier, they said they put in some kinds of natural deterrents. I don't know what natural deterrents are. I'm hoping they can't get through the membranes, but I think mice are pretty enterprising. Maybe I need to check it from time to time because I am a little bit wondering whether it will happen. So we'll see. Underfloor insulation was as hard as I thought it was going to be. It was not particularly expensive in the whole frame of things, but in terms of the labour that it's taken, it's probably, I estimate, about 15 working days. In terms of doing the underfloor insulation the way we've done it, I would definitely recommend it, but you've got to know that it will take you some time and it will be a bit of disruption. It's got to be a bit of a labour of love, really. But I think everybody can do it if they're interested in knowing how to do it and they want to do it and they want to learn some basic techniques and they've got some patience. Even after the underfloor insulation, which we've only just done, it is in the middle of summer, but the drafts are probably fundamentally what's gone, and the draft is what was causing any kind of cold and changes in temperature through the house, and that has dropped dramatically. The best thing about the work done so far is probably just the amount I've learned and also the interest in it. I thought I'd be handing over more to the contractor, but actually I've engaged in it and wanted to be part of it more than anything. And one of the biggest parts is actually making decisions about using natural materials. It can't always use natural materials, it hasn't always been perfect, but wanting to use them has actually made quite a difference to how I see the property, really. And I never wanted, my architect suggested surround the house in polystyrene, and actually it would have been a lot cheaper to do that and probably just as warm, but I couldn't quite face it. So I think the enjoyable thing to me is enjoying that I feel like it's healthy, even if some of it's subliminal. I feel like ultimately it's going to be a lovely place to live. I think anybody who's thinking about it should have a go. They should just think about their own limitations and understand that they don't always have the skills. don't always have the capacity to deal with the stress that's in it, but just, I don't think that's a reason not to do it. I think you need to think that the reason why you're trying to do it and accept there's going to be problems, really.
You can visit homes like these at green open home events held regularly around the UK. For more information on how Carbon Co-op can help you improve your home and reduce your emissions, visit our website.